particularly well. Among them, Garden Reach Shipbuilders reacting to earnings, doing incredibly well, and the defense pack once again buzzing. Look at that, 17% up, and this is a stock that gained, by the way, 5% in trade yesterday as well. Very strong set of numbers. The PAT number increasing, doubling, more than doubling, and the margins also improving very substantially. Of course, the revenue recognition for a company like this is S-shaped in that there are periods of lumpiness in the recognition of revenue. Bear that in mind. Something like a Dalmia Bharat Sugar is also doing incredibly well on the back of earnings. We'll get to some of those names in more details in just a bit. But first, let's go to an exclusive story. And my colleague Shrimi Chaudhary is joining in. As a fallout of the China support for Pakistan during the recent military conflict, the Indian government will be conducting tighter scrutiny or having tighter scrutiny on all deals, foreign direct investment and joint ventures backed by China. Shrimi is on the phone line to tell you about the key details here. Shrimi, what has emerged?
Yes, Alex. So this is very important information, what we've been given to understand that, following the China open support for Pakistan in a, recent military standoff, as you mentioned, India is tightening its grip on the FDI from Chinese entities. And of course, that is signaling a tougher stance on, economic engagement, which, foreign investment is, larger part of those engagements. So sources also tells us that India is intensifying all kind of scrutiny as far as FDI proposals from China is concerned, which include, 7 to 8 proposal, which is ongoing deals. What the sources tells us that under Press Note 3, which was introduced in April 2020, during that China-India border conflict, under that they are scrutiny each proposal which is ongoing and on table at this point of time. Remember that Press Note 3 mandates all the approvals from countries sharing a land border, including China, aiming to curb hostile takeover. So government continues to, assess each proposal on a case-to-case basis involving China FDI. But with recent development, this could delay the whole process, that it may go through rigorous compliance process for China-backed deals. And sources also tells us that domestic joint ventures with China firms are also being subjected to tighter regulatory checks. But Alice, there's some interesting fact as well that despite the investment restriction, if you see, imports from China have surged since April 2020, which that when the curve was imposed. But FDI inflows from China have continued to decline. And in some occasion in past also, some of the government officials have been pushing to ease the restrictions. But now the way situation are, evolving, China FDI may clearly face intense scrutiny, and we could even see further tightening in the current regime which is there as we speak. But possibility of that is not completely ruled out, is what we have been given to understand.
All right, Shrimi, thank you for breaking that. For us. So FDI from China, the rules to get tighter going ahead is the overall summary of what Shrimi has told us. All right, with that, let's also welcome in our guest for the day, Vaishali Parekh from Prabhudas Leeladhar and Neerav Ashar from Latent View Securities joining us now. Good morning to both of you. My first question is from Debrata Joshi. She's holding United Spirits 10 shares at 1,412 rupees, and from a 6 months perspective, she wants a view on this particular counter. Vaishali, I'll come quickly to you. What are the charts indicating for United Spirits?
Very good morning, all of you. So I think, yes, it's in a trend, little bit of consolidation going on. So I think 1450, 1430 should act as a near-term support, and the resistance lies at 1630. Once we see the stock moving above 1630, it can go towards 1700, 1750. So that's the range that one should follow.
That's a view on United Spirits. Our first call of the day, by the way, in case you missed it, we didn't mention it today, but then it's pretty obvious. It's on your screen. That is the number that you can send us a WhatsApp message on, and the number at the bottom of your screen is the number that Ramesh has called us on, and you can call us as well. Ramesh, hi, thanks so much for calling us. How can we help you today?
Sir, very good morning.
Good morning.
HEIL, I have HEIL share 100.
Okay.
4,000 772.
Right.
Right.
Okay. So you've just bought it recently, is it?
Yeah, 3 months, sir.
3 months back. Okay. So, and what is the view that you're seeking? Are you looking for a long-term view or a short-term view?
Short term, sir, please.
Okay, short term. All right. By the way, in case you didn't already know, Ramesh, the results are out today, so do watch out for that, either on this channel or you can check out the results on your own as well. But Vaishali, I'll come to you on the charts. This is part of a pack that has been absolutely buzzing in the recent past, and it's done quite well for itself. What levels on the upside would you watch out for?
Since it's for a shorter term period, I would say the view continues to be positive. Overall, full defense sector is doing very well. So I'm looking at a target of 5,000. So continue holding for a target of 5,000. And yes, so near term perspective, you can book profit at those levels.
And the company is expected to post its earnings as well today, so keep an eye on that as well. All right, the next question is from Ramesh, who is writing in from Bengaluru. He's purchased 75 odd shares of Tejas Networks for 730 a piece and wants to know whether he should hold or sell out. Nirav, I'll quickly come to you on this one. What's the view like for Tejas Networks?
Well, good morning and thank you for the invite. And I think Tejas Networks, she should continue to hold with a medium to long term horizon because the prospects look to be improving going forward.
Okay, can you give us some more color on that? If you've studied the numbers, can you tell us more about that, Nirav?
Yeah, basically, I think what we are expecting is that the margin trajectory is expected to improve going forward. And we are likely to see the operating leverage kick in going forward. So I think that could augur well for the prospects of the company.
All right, fair point. Let's take another question and we'll then go to Priyesh on the question that he has. Praj Industries is the name of the stock, and Dharma from Andhra Pradesh is asking this question. He's wondering what to do with this because he's bought at levels of 610, slightly elevated levels. He's wondering whether there's going to be any impact on account of Trump tariffs. I'm not very certain about that. It is operating in a space that caters to ethanol blending, right? So it's basically constructing equipment that facilitates that, among other things. What would you say about this, Nirav? On the fundamentals, would you hold?
Yeah, but actually, Praj Industries has been through a lean patch in the recent past, and because of the whole ethanol-related situation, etc., the company has been going through a tough time in the recent past. So I think what he can do is probably he should shift out of Praj Industries and move to some better options like a Triveni turbine or an Elecon Engineering.
The view with regards to where Praj Industries stands, and Nirav has given options to switch to as well. All right, the next caller, Priyesh, is calling in from Jharkhand. Priyesh, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Good morning, ma'am. I have a question. I have Polycab shares. I have 40 shares, but I have sold 20 shares yesterday.
Okay.
I want to ask, I hold 20 shares of it or for lifetime high or sell it?
Okay.
I have taken it on 3,800 price.
Okay. All right. 3,800 is quite an attractive price to enter into Polycab and sitting on profits of 43,000. So Priyesh, congratulations on that. I'll quickly take this up with Vaishali. Vaishali, in terms of the earnings, it was a strong beat across, and the 5-year guidance given by the management, it was also very promising for Polycab. But in terms of where charts stand, should he wait for touching the life highs is his question.
Well, that only time will tell, but it needs to cross 6,400 for this confirmation that yes, the trend is intact and still ready to surge high. So for now, wait for 6,400 levels. If it sustains above that, then yes, in all likelihood, it can go towards a previous high and even higher.
Okay, but would you suggest taking money off the table? He did so yesterday. Vaishali, what would you suggest?
I would say that trend is quite intact, but all the same, keep a stop loss of 5,800.
5,800. All right. Siemens is the name of the counter that I want to talk about next. It's in focus on account of earnings as well. And So, Nirav, from what I saw, and I just saw the snapshot of it, if I'm not mistaken, order execution seems to be been a bit of an issue, and margin contraction is what I saw. I may be mistaken because I saw quite a few numbers this morning. What do you think about Siemens?
Well, I think I would be positive on the numbers because we studied the numbers, and Siemens basically there's been a demerger of the energy division. That is one part. One of the divisions, that is digital industries, has been under some sort of pressure, but mobility and smart infrastructure businesses have been doing quite well. So I think the orders are up around 44% on a year-on-year basis, and that's a very positive sign. So I think we continue to maintain a positive view on Siemens. The profitability has been impacted by certain extraordinary items. So optically, I think the results look weak as far as this quarter is concerned. But if one were to remove the extraordinary items, then I think it's a pretty decent set of numbers.
Interesting that you say that. I was just going to point out that the PAT number is down about 25%, and the margin has contracted to 10.1 versus 14.7. But as you pointed out, certain extraordinary items, and I think the street is looking through that as well. Quite a bit that is playing out with regard to Siemens in terms of corporate actions as well. We've got a next caller from Chennai. Aditya is calling us. Good morning, Aditya. How can we help you today?
Hi, morning. So I bought Ramakrishna Forgings at about 690 on the 24th of April to hold it for about a year or so. But the stock has plummeted down, so I was wondering whether there's a good time to swap for my portfolio or continue holding it.
Okay, so you would you have
and,
a 1 year?
The other thing I would like to tell you is one out of the two stocks which are pulling my portfolio down. Everything else is looking good.
Everything else, and congratulations. I'm glad to hear that. But RK Forgings, would you say from this point you would have a 1 year time frame?
Yeah, that wouldn't be a problem.
Okay. All right. So, Vaishali, on the charts, RK Forging, if I'm not mistaken, again, company that posted its numbers not too long back. What would you say about the upside potential?
The stock is really oversold, and if he's making loss in this, no harm averaging out, keeping a stop loss of 550, because once you see signs of reversal coming in, this can go towards 700 and perhaps 750 to start with. So in my opinion, do average out.
Do average out is the view coming in on the counter. All right, the next question is on Sterlite Technologies. Narendra from Hyderabad has bought 300 odd shares at 100 a piece and wants to wait for the next 2 years and wants to know whether they should hold the counter at present or sell. Nirav, any view on Sterlite Technologies?
Well, I think the stock has been a rank underperformer, and I think it's better to shift to some other better alternatives which would be available in the same space. So I think it's better to book out of this counter at least.
Okay, Nirav, would you be able to tell us then Sterlite Tech, alternatives to this? It has underperformed as you pointed out, but what alternatives would you pick and why?
I think there are better options in the defense space also. If you were to consider, then I think you can look for a BHEL or something like a Bharat Forge, etc. As a better alternative.
Okay. So those are the alternatives to Sterlite Technology as per Nirav. The next question is from Puran Sai, calling in from Vijayawada. Very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Good morning, madam. I'm invested in ITC hotels.
Okay.
Today are the results right? I would like to know about the expectations on the numbers.
Okay.
And is it right to hold ITC hotels, or could I shift to some other hospitality business?
Okay, got your question. I'll take this up with Nirav. Nirav, overall we've seen IHCL, Ventive Hospitality, Chalet come out with their earnings, and all of these earnings, although IHCL was a bit of disappointment in terms of its guidance, but Ventive and Chalet comparatively were very good. Of course, in terms of scale, they are much smaller to IHCL. But your view with respect to the entire hospitality space, and of course ITC hotels, what are we expecting?
Well, I think the hotel sector has been performing quite well, and there are strong tailwinds as far as the sector is concerned for the next 3 to 4 years. But as far as this quarter is concerned, we've seen one consistent trend, that is there has been a sharp increase in the overheads as far as most of the hotel stocks are concerned. We've seen an increase in the other expenses especially, which has pulled down the profitability. So there's been a slight miss in the PAT as far as the hotel companies are concerned. That's what we've seen in the numbers which have been announced so far. So I think this should be no different. There could be slight disappointment on the PAT front.
We've got our next caller from Belgium. Vashishta is calling us, and so I don't want to keep you waiting for too long. Vashishta, thanks so much for calling us. It must be very early where you're at. What do you want help with?
Yeah, so I hold 250 shares of Swan Energy, which I purchased about a year and a half ago at 465 rupees per share.
Okay.
Though it had a good run-up in the last year, but I was holding on to it and I wanted to know what the view is.
Okay, so you've got a long-term view and you bought it based on the fundamentals, is that correct?
Correct, yeah.
Okay.
I was looking somewhere that the sum of parts valuation of this is much higher than what it was trading at, and that was my fundamental, yeah.
You mean it was much, okay, the valuation picture was, okay, fine. So basically it was undervalued. I got your question. Nirav, what's your view on Swan Energy? He's lost a little bit of ground, bought at slightly elevated levels, 460. Would you hold on to this?
Well, I think he should continue to hold Swan Energy because, of course, typically we tend to look at some of the part valuation when there is an attempt to sell the business or, going for some corporate actions, etc. But I think as far as the normal business goes, then we tend to look at the revenues from the operations, the cash flows, the quality of the cash flows, the free cash flows, etc. There's been a slight disappointment over there, but I think he should continue to hold in expectation that the things will only get improved from the current levels.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where Swan Energy stands. The next question is from Rajesh Maheshwari, who's writing in from Indore. His query is on Tata Steel. He's bought 1,000 odd shares at an average price of 125 and wants to know as to what's the short-term outlook for this particular counter. Vaishali, in terms of Tata Steel, what are the kind of supports and resistance levels that you're watching on the charts?
I think the stock has got into trend. Volume is also on rise. So I think my view is positive. For near-term basis, the support lies at 145 and it can go towards 172, 174 for now. So we'll continue holding and look for the higher targets.
Targets is a view, continue holding is a view on Tata Steel. Numbers in focus, of course. Q4 numbers were posted not too long back. Elecon Engineering, and I know that Nirav just pointed this out, which is why I'm going back to him on this one. Shankar from Bangalore is holding at a price of 419 rupees, so he's in the green right now. He points out that based on his understanding, the price to earnings is currently just above the industry price to earnings. He's wondering whether to add more. I know that you have a buy call. Can you spell that out a little bit?
Well, yes, this is a very niche company, and I think we had a couple of quarters of underperformance as far as Elecon Engineering is concerned, but they have covered up their lost ground in the last quarter of FY25. This company has been into two divisions, that is gearboxes and material handling equipment. Material handling equipment is also making a strong comeback, and gearboxes has also been on the rise. So I think going forward, the prospects appear to be quite strong as far as Elecon Engineering is concerned. With respect to the price to earnings multiple, I think PE is assigned on the basis of the growth prospects of a particular company. So if the growth is able to, they are able to outperform on the growth parameters, then definitely we will see a strong re-rating going forward.
Okay, all right, so the stock has done particularly well over the last 1 month, as you can see, up about 50%. Let's talk about the next one, and we've got Sangeet that's calling us from Hyderabad asking about easy trip planners. Hi Sangeet, how can we help you today?
Yeah, hi, good morning all.
Good morning.
I just want to check regarding East My Trip. Okay. I have bought almost 3,800 shares at price of 21.
Yeah.
I'm incurring a loss of 34,000.
Yes.
Just want to let you know, like, should I hold for long term or should I sell?
Okay. All right. And when you define long term, is this more than a year, more than 2 years?
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year, okay. You know what, let me go across to Nirav on this. Nirav, on the fundamentals, there's a lot that's happening in the travel and tourism space, and Easy Trip Plan is of course in the news because of certain cancellations at certain locations. But beyond that, on the fundamentals, it's had troubles with promoter selling, etc. Would you hold on to this?
No, I think it's better to shift to some other alternatives. He can explore Thomas Cook as an option at the current levels.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where Easy Trip stands. Any quick view on the charts, Vaishali?
Tactically, well, of course, there's nothing much happening. It's just consolidating since a very long time. I would just say observe a range of 11.5 to 13.5 for now. There could be some further strength only if the stock moves above 13.5 to go towards 15 and so on. So in my opinion, if you have to hold, follow these levels, else shift to some other stock.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to Easy Trip. All right, the next question is from Harshit Maheshwari. He's purchased Spandana Sphoorty at 490 a piece and holding 100 odd shares and wants a short-term view on this particular counter. Vaishali, I'll again come back to you. What are the charts indicating for Spandana Sphoorty?
So this too is just consolidating after a good corrective move. In the recent, what we saw was at around 1200 levels, and now it's just in deep oversold and trying to come out of its oversold zones. So I would say 270 is the range, and well, if the view goes right and if we see a good bounce, you can see a good bounce going towards first target of 400, 430.
Today is a day to get international calls. Rahul is calling us from California, the sunny state. Rahul, thanks so much for calling us. How can we help you?
Yeah, hi. My name Rahul. I'm calling from California. I am holding around 6,000 shares of Jindal Drilling at an average price of 827, and I want to know, should I hold?
Okay.
And how long should I hold?
Okay, Rahul, thanks so much for calling us. Can you help us with why you bought this stock? It's a very small stock, just about 2,000 crore market capitalization. Why did you buy? What was the thinking?
In the month of February, I just researched and this name came up. So I just put money. So I was in a profit of around 6 lakh rupees, but I couldn't book my profit, and I just came out and kept on averaging it, and it just kept falling on me. So
Understood. Okay, let me try and get your view on the fundamentals. I'm not sure if Neerav's going to have a view. Neerav, it is part of the Dharampal Jindal group from what I can read, and it is involved in offshore drilling and allied services. Do you have a view?
Well, typically these businesses tend to be like cyclical businesses, and definitely when they get the orders, then there is a lot of traction in the execution also. So probably I think he would have bought the shares, and after that there would have been some strong order inflows, and after that the order flows have kind of dried up at the moment. So the advice would be to definitely hold with a medium-term horizon, and I think he should be able to recover recoup his losses at least.
Okay, hold is the view coming on Jindal Drilling, and it's interesting because the company operates 5 oil rigs, all of which are deployed with ONGC. And around FY24, 2 rigs are owned by the company so far. And order book also pretty strong in terms of as compared to the size of the company as well. All right, the next caller, Rajkumar, is calling in from Hyderabad. Rajkumar, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, very good morning to all.
Go ahead with your query, Raj.
Actually, in the recent fall, that means the day before yesterday, so I purchased 500 shares of BHEL at a price of 215.
Okay.
Having some 500 shares. So my view is, what is the short-term view? Can I hold? Actually, I'm having some 10,000 profit. Can I book off now, or what exactly the price changes now?
Okay, got your point, Raj. I'll take this up with Vaishali. Vaishali, your view on the charts for BHEL, and should we wait for further upside?
No, well, depending on your time horizon, I would say the stock has already got into a trend. It is positive, view is positive. It is facing a hurdle at around 242, 243 levels. So keep a stop loss of 230 and run through the rally. This can go towards 250, 260 levels also. So keep 230 as your stop loss.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where charts stand for BHEL. But with that, it's time to step into a very short break. Neera, Vaishali will be right back, and viewers will be right back answering more queries on the other side.
गोल्ड प्लस ऑप्टिमिस्टिक रिफ्लेक्टिव ग्लास लगाओ, धूप की गर्मी को दूर भगाओ और बिजली का बिल भी बचाओ।
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with. What matters worldwide is now in the palm of your hands. Get ready to seize the day and maximize your financial potential. Stay ahead of the curve with all you need to know on NDTV Profit.
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know Your Company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light on the biggest stock market movers.
Headlines you start your day with.
Welcome back. You're watching Ask Profit. Time to deviate a little bit from the questions that we've been taking to talk about earnings. And we're talking about Ask Automotive. And it's in focus because it's a good set of numbers. Net profit is up as much as 21% in the quarter gone by, 57.6 crore rupees or thereabouts, stock reacting positively. There has been an expansion in the margins as well to the extent of close to 2 percentage points. It's come in at 12.2% compared with 10.5% in the comparable quarter, and revenue is up as much as 9% as well. That's just a snapshot. Let's find out more about what the numbers look like under the hood. We're joined by Kuldeep Singh Rathi, who's the chairman and managing director of the company. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time. Let me ask first about the aluminium lightweighting precision. Is it still expected to outperform the growth of the ABS business in FY26?
Good morning, Alex. Yes, as regards the aluminium lightweighting precision solution, we have grown by 28% in the last financial year, and we will keep on, we'll be outperforming in this segment in the next financial year also. ABS, since we enjoy more than 50% share of the complete Indian market, all the segments, so that will grow as per the growth of the industry.
Okay. Mr. Rathi, just wanted to get an overall understanding with respect to your new partnership with the new Japanese company that you've entered into. And this is for high pressure die-casted alloy wheels. What is the kind of synergy that you're expecting from this particular acquisition?
Good morning, Mahima. This is the technology that with this new technology, high pressure die casting alloy wheels, they are already supplying in Japan and to the Japanese customers. And we are lucky to associate with them. And this whole technology transfer and the new setting up the new plant will take place in this particular financial year. And we have the orders for the next financial year to start supplies.
And how much of quantification of that order stands, and how much of a revenue will that generate for you?
We hope to generate extra 250 crore revenue from this particular collaboration.
Okay, and you had also signed a collaboration agreement with a Taiwan manufacturer as well, which was for two-wheeler alloy wheels in Feb 24. Just wanted to get what's the current progress there and what are the timelines looking like?
There also the progress is very good. The product is already under advanced stage of testing. We hope that we should receive the approvals by June or July end. And once the approvals come and the pilot lot supply goes, we feel the complete supply should go in the second half of this financial year.
Half of this financial year is what you have to watch out for. All right. Can you give us an update, sir, on this Karnataka plant, the latest one? Have you ramped up to full production there?
No, not we. We have just started the commercial production on 14 January. And as you know, first 2-3 months, the QAVs take place. Most of the product QAVs, part QAVs have been completed. And we expect the good supplies in from this quarter and we'll be EBITDA positive from this quarter.
From this, okay. So then from that perspective, based on what you've just told us, and my assumption is that you're going to be ramping up capacity utilization through the year. Can you give us a sense of, one, where you anticipate utilization to move over the course of this year, and also the sense of how much you're spending on CapEx? You've already set up this new plant. Any need for additional capacity? Will there be a greenfield, for example?
This year, from the Bangalore new plant, I think by the end of this financial year, we'll reach a capacity utilization of 60-65%. So we need to move further ahead. And being an optimist, as you know, I see a very bright future for the two-wheeler sector. And we'll be investing close to about 450 crores in the new plants or adding the capacities in the existing plants in this particular financial year.
Mr. Rathi, just wanted to understand, you've ended FY25 with a top line of 3,600 odd crores. Margins also steady margins at 12 odd %, and net profit also at 248 odd crores. If we take a look at your 3-year CAGR, your sales has grown by 21 odd %. Even your net profit has grown by a CAGR of 44 odd %. Do you expect that momentum to continue? And what is the kind of top line and bottom line growth that you're expecting by the end of FY26? Where will this number go from 3,600 odd crores and 248 odd crores in the bottom line?
See, I can't say the number, but yes, we have outgrown the industry for the last 30 years, and we'll be outgrowing the industry and we'll be growing close to the mid-teens. And the revenue growth will be there. And the margins will also certainly improve. But yes, we will be, with the extra capacity utilization, we expect more and more economies of scale. And we expect that our EBITDA margins will improve at least by 150 basis points in this particular financial year. But we'll be trying to achieve 14%.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, sir, for taking the time. A pleasure speaking with you. And that 14% is something to aspire to, certainly.
Yes, certainly. Even we are working hard to achieve that.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for taking the time. Look forward to the next chat as well.
Thank you so much. So nice. Thank you.
Take care. All right, so let's go back to Nirav as well as Vaishali. Thanks so much for staying by. Nirav, any quick view on Ask Automotive since we just spoke to the management? 12.2% is where they finished off Q4 EBITDA margin, and they're saying 14% is something they're aspiring to.
Well, I would be circumspect about whether they would be able to achieve the 14% margins, because we've seen in these type of companies that typically auto ancillary makers who are supplying to the OEM companies, that they tend to have a fixed margin trajectory in place. It's generally in the range of 12%, and the PAT margins tend to be in the range of 5.5% to 6%. So I think it would be difficult to achieve this kind of number. But yes, revenue growth definitely looks promising. And on the basis of revenue growth, I think they would be able to command an improvement in the market cap going forward. And hopefully, because the revenues are going up, we will see definitely the PAT moving up. And with free cash flow being available, definitely they can plan expansions, because the market is growing. Definitely, it's a very, very positive outlook. But margins is something which I think we need to be a little bit watchful about.
Yes, that's with regards to where Ask Automotive stands. The next question is from Sanjay, who's writing in from Delhi. He's holding 3,000 odd shares of Mopen Labs, but at 78 a piece. Wants to know whether at this level should he hold, sell, or add more. Vaishali, on the charts.
So on the charts, I think the stock is doing quite well. It has just consolidated in the recent data. So 55 should be the support. And once you see the stock and volume is also very consistent. So I think for now, observe a range of 55 to 70. Above 70, this can do even further. It can go towards 80, 85. So hold with the support of 855.
I'm coming back to you, Vaishali, on the next one. Deep Industries is the name of the counter, and we've got Jesse, who's writing in from Vijayawada in Andhra Pradesh, and he's asking, should he hold on? If he's bought at levels of 523 rupees, he says that he can hold on for a period of a year or thereabouts. Stock is currently at 410 or thereabouts. Should he do that? Hold on?
So looking at the chart, the data on daily chart and all, it is getting into a corrective mode. And when I'm looking at the weekly chart also, it's just a regular retracement. So as long as 350 levels are held on, there is not much to worry. So in my opinion, see if the stock goes towards 350, you can add more to get your price lower. And I think once the pickup starts, you'll be in gains.
Okay, so that's with regards to where Deep Industries stand. The next question is on Kotak Mahindra Bank. Vinayak from Assam is writing in and wants to know the outlook for this particular counter. Here, I'll come to you on this. Q4 overall growth was slightly below the street expectations. Margins did improve QOQ. The commentary was positive, and overall return on assets was sustained. But what's the view like as to where Kotak stands? Should he continue to hold?
Yes, there's no doubt that Kotak is a hold from a medium to a long-term perspective.
Can you tell us a little bit more about why you're saying that, though? So the reason I'm asking, Nirav, is that it might be obvious to some of us, but then a lot of our viewers tuning in would like to get some more information on that.
Well, I think the best-in-class NIMs, that is the net interest margins, we've seen a decent loan growth. But I think all these parameters are likely to improve going forward. So I think we need to keep a strong eye on how the NIMs tend to move forward. What is going to be the asset quality? Asset quality has been quite strong, and the profitability has been quite strong. So I think definitely it's a hold.
So hold is the view coming in on Kotak Bank. Our next question is from Bimal, who's writing in from Bengaluru. He wants to buy Latent View Analytics at this point of time and wants to know if this is the good time to enter from a media-term target. Vaishali, do you have enough data on the charts to give a view on Latent View Analytics?
Sure, I do. So this stock has not been doing much of late. Just in 2021, we had seen a high of around 720 levels, and from there on, it's consolidating. And we've seen good profit booking. And technically, if you were to ask me, it is currently attempting to make a bounce back. So 350 acts as the support, and the resistance for now lies at 450, 460. The strength confirmation is only about 450, 460. So in my opinion, just buy and hold, wait for this confirmation, and then you can see further strength, the stock going towards 600 and plus.
Okay. All right. The next counter that we're talking about is KPI Green, and it is up quite considerably today. I believe we've got a caller from Warangal, I believe. Is that right? So Govind Kumar is calling us from Warangal. Hi, Govind. How can we help you today?
Sir, good morning, sir. Alex, sir. Good morning to all.
Good morning.
Sir, actually, regarding this KPI Green Energy, I have purchased the 250 shares at the price of 550 rupees, sir.
Okay.
Can I add some more, sir? At least another 250 to 300 shares I can add it for long-term prospects, 1 to 2 years, sir, due to this demand power supply of power, actually.
Understood. Okay. I will take your question, Govind. Just let me go to Nirav on this one. Nirav, any view on KPI Green? It's been in focus.
Well, I think all these renewable power stocks have been in the flavor of the markets, and definitely he can add more at the current levels, that is KPI Green. We also have Inox Green, which has performed quite well. Adani Green Energy too has performed quite well. So I think all these stocks are looking in a very interesting space at this point of time.
All right. Jay Krishnan is writing in from Kerala and he's asking about Amber Enterprises, which he's bought at levels of 7,047. He's incurring losses, he points out, and indeed the stock is currently trading at 6,200 thereabouts. He's wondering whether to book losses and shift to something like a Persistent. What's the view, Nirav?
No, I think you should continue to hold because I think all these EMS firms, whether it is Dixon or PG Electroplast or Amber, they've been doing quite well. The prospects are quite strong going forward. So he should keep the faith and hold on to these stocks.
So what I wanted to ask you, in fact, is on Syrma SGS. If we can pull up that share and just see where it's currently trading. And this is my own question for you. I want to know, Nirav, what you made of the numbers, because you don't often see a 5 percentage point improvement in operating profit for a player like this. So on the one hand, you have the revenue miss, which I think the street is focusing on. But on the other hand, you have an improvement in this margin trajectory. What is your opinion on this?
Well, I think the margin improvement is a continuous work in progress. So I think the first step is, of course, that there is a scale up in the revenues, and after achieving a certain meaningful revenue trajectory, the operating leverage tends to kick in. So I think what will be important to monitor is whether they are able to maintain these kind of margins going forward. So I think management commentary in this respect will be very, very important, and it will be important to see whether they are consistent in their ability to hold on to their margins going forward.
So that's the view with regards to where Syrma stands. The next question is from Deepak, who's writing in from Chennai. He's holding 75 odd shares of Solar Industry, bought at an average price of 8,700, and wants to know the timeline with respect to this counter for 3 to 6 months. Vaishali, on the charts, how does it fare?
So Solar Industries has been doing very well, and I think, the stock is really run up. So I would say keep a trading stop loss of 13,000 levels, and this can go towards 15,000 also. So that's my view, because it's already run up right from 8,000 to currently 13,800 to overbought to make a fresh view, but hold with the stop loss and look for a target of 15,000.
Target of 15,000 is the view on Solar Industries. All right, our next caller, Satyendra, is calling in from Jaipur. Satyendra, very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Good morning, ma'am.
Go ahead with your query,
Hello.
Satyendra. I can hear you.
Ma'am, I have the share of PCBL, Philips Carbon Black Limited, at 420 price, and 400 shares I have. मैं इसके बारे में एक तो होल्ड और सेल और बाई जो भी इसको एवरेज भी करना है तो पूछना चाहता हूँ, और दूसरा इसका लॉन्ग टर्म शॉर्ट टर्म व्यू पूछना चाहता हूँ, और थर्ड इसका स्टॉप लॉस अगर रखना हो तो क्या रखना हो, क्योंकि ये पिछले 5 मंथ से 350 से 420 430 के बीच में ही ट्रेड कर रहा है जब से मार्केट गिरा है।
ठीक है। और सत्येंद्र, आपने जब ये स्टॉक लिया था तब चार्ट्स देखे थे या कंपनी का फंडामेंटल देखा था?
मैं फंडामेंटल से रहा हूँ। एक्चुअली इसने नया बैटरी सेक्टर्स में और इस सेगमेंट में इसने अपना नया इन्वेस्टमेंट किया था। करंट में इसकी बोरोइंग्स ज्यादा है रिजर्व से, ये एक नेगेटिव है इसका, बट वो उसकी वजह से क्योंकि उन्होंने इन्वेस्टमेंट किया है नया, तो मे भी बाकी इसके जो भी फंडामेंटल्स थे ठीक थे।
ओके सत्येंद्र, आपने अपना रिसर्च बढ़िया तरीके से किया है, बट लेट्स आस्क नीरव. नीरव, व्हाट्स द व्यू लाइक ऑन PCBL?
Well, I think the stock did start going up once they made an acquisition of Aquafarm Chemicals, and I think after this acquisition, of course, this was funded by debt. So I think the integration is going on at this point of time, and once the integration is complete, we will see the margins normalize. We will see the impact of the incremental turnover. We will see an improvement in the product mix going forward. It's going to be a very interesting product mix. So this is a kind of a transition. I know the stock has been on a downward trajectory since the last few months, but I think he should keep the faith and he should hold on to the stock. If possible, he can even average at the current levels.
Okay, so that's a view on PCBL. Make of carbon black also, by the way, which goes into tires, in case you didn't know. That's the reason why tires are black. All right, Milan Sarvaiya is writing in from Mumbai, and he points out that Nirav Ashar had on NDTV Profit said, and he quotes, Hitachi Energy is a blind buy, unquote. He had followed and bought 10 shares at levels of 11,560. The stock is currently trading at 16,400. The question is, can he hold and should he add on dips for a period of 12 to 18 months? First of all, congratulations on a great piece of advice, Nirav. And what's the advice going forward?
Well, I think it's a blind hold.
Okay, but tell us more.
Well, I think if we were to see, there has been a huge amount of interest in grid technologies. If one were to refer to today's paper, then GE Vernova is going to invest around 140 crores in grid technologies like HVDC and FATs. Hitachi is a pioneer in HVDC, that is high voltage direct current. This technology helps the company to be a price maker. So I think there is a huge amount of thrust on electrification at this point of time. And in the power T&D space, HVDC is the trend going forward. So I think the prospects are still very, very strong as far as Hitachi is concerned.
Okay, prospects of the company looking very strong and blind hold is the view coming in from Nirav. All right, our next caller, Venkateshwar is calling in from Telangana. A very good morning to you, Venkateshwar. How can we help you? Hi, can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you, Venkateshwar.
Yes.
Okay, we seem to have a patchy line, I believe, and we seem to have lost him. So his query is basically on Olectra Green Tech. He's holding 50 odd shares at 1,844 a piece. Your view, Nirav, on Olectra Green Tech, how are the fundamentals looking like?
Well, I think the company has very strong prospects because they are a major beneficiary as far as the orders for the green vehicles, that is the electric vehicles, are concerned going forward. And there is a sizable budgetary allocation for these vehicles as far as the state transport undertakings are concerned. So I think the prospects appear to be quite robust. On and off, we've seen companies like Olectra Green Tech and JBM Auto win orders on a very consistent basis. So I think both these companies look quite strong from medium to long-term perspective.
So, all right, so that's the view on Olectra Green. We've got the next question on Dixon Technology, and Rohan from Pune is asking this question. He's got 10 shares at a price of 14,600. Should he add, sell or hold for the medium-term perspective? Vaishali, on the chart?
Yeah, I think continue holding, and if he has to buy near 15,000 because the stock is likely to do 19,000 to 20,000 for 3 to 6 months horizon.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where Dixon Technology stands. The next question is from Tejas Rane, who's writing in from Maharashtra, in fact from Thane itself. Power Grid Corporation, he's holding 7,000 odd shares, his buying price is 330 and wants to have a long-term view from a 3 to 6 year point of view, whether to continue to hold or buy more at the current levels. Nirav, what's the view like?
Well, I think this stock is like lazy investing. So I think there will be returns. He cannot expect any extraordinary returns, but there will be decent returns. There will be a good dividend yield, and it's expected to be a slow and a steady mover.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where Power Grid stands. Our next question is on BEL. Kajori from Kolkata is writing in. She's bought BEL for 336 a piece and wants to know as to whether she can add more at the current levels or not, and for how much of a time can she continue to hold. Vaishali, I'll come to you on this one. BEL on the charts, how is it faring?
It's looking very well, good run-up already taking place, and yet further upside cannot be ruled out. So if she has to add, I think wait for a dip if at all it does, because we've seen a good one-way rally coming in. And after a breakout also, it's just holding on. So I think the target is 370 and the strong support now lies at 332. So accordingly, if you get a chance to add at lower levels, to look for higher targets.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where BEL stands. Our next caller, Anant, is calling in from Bengaluru. Anant, a very good morning to you. How can we help you?
Yeah, very good morning, and thanks for your great service. And I'm a big fan of Vaishali ma'am as well. So my question is, I'm holding 96 shares of Afcons.
Okay.
I bought it at the listing price.
So I wanted to hold it for a long. I just picked the share based on the fundamentals and the book values. But there's a lot of up and down is happening. So I just wanted to know whether I can hold it or I can sell it on after a few months.
Okay, got your point, Anant. You saw the fundamentals and you bought the counter. So I'll go to Neerav first, but Vaishali, I'll convey his message to you. I hope you've heard that he's a big fan of yours. I'm not sure if you have enough data on the charts, so I'll come back to you as well. But Neerav, your view on Afcon, should he continue to hold or book profits at the current level?
No, it's advisable to hold because we have a very strong promoter over here. We have a strong order book. We have strong execution capabilities, and we should see order inflows moving up going forward. So I think the advice is definitely hold with a medium to long-term horizon.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where fundamentals stand for Afcons. Vaishali, enough data on the charts to give a view?
I'll just have a look.
Sure. So that's with regards to where Afcons.
Well, so Afcons, I do have the data with whatever I have. The stock is showing signs of revival. It has made a bottom at 400 levels, and I think the stock can do well, keeping the company having good order book also. I think this can go towards 520, 550. So continue holding.
Okay, so that's the view with regards to where technicals stand for Afcons. All right, the next question is on AB Capital. Do we have the name of the... Yes, Chandan is holding around 2,500 shares at 175 a piece and wants to know whether he should hold further. He's writing from Hubli, Karnataka, in 6 years is his time horizon. Neerav, your view on AB Capital?
Well, it's definitely, it has very strong prospects going forward. So the advice is definitely to hold with a medium to long-term horizon. Preferably with a long-term horizon.
Okay. All right, so that's the view. It is time for the rapid fire segment, and this is where we throw as many questions at you over the course of 2 minutes, so do keep your answers as crisp as possible. Power Mech is the name of the counter that we're talking about first, and this is from Samba Siva. He's bought at levels of 3,353 in a loss. Is it worth buying more for the long term? What's the view, Neerav?
No.
Coforge is the next counter. Nimish is writing in from Saudi Arabia. He's holding 7,900 or he's holding 15 odd shares. What's the view like from a longer term perspective, Neerav?
Positive.
Okay, Maruti Suzuki holding from IPO levels. He says 350 shares. I'm not sure whether it still is that much. Parijat wants to know, should he hold on, Neerav?
Definitely hold.
Okay, the next counter is Bajaj Finance. Ravi from Vijayawada is holding 1,000 odd shares, wants a 1 to 2 months view. Vaishali, on the charts?
Well, hold. 2 months point of view, 8,800 support and 9,800 as target.
Paras Defense is the name of the counter. Vinay wants to know, he's bought at 900 levels. Can he add more at the current price or wait? What's the view, Vaishali?
Wait. Already run up, so wait.
Okay.
1450 should be the level to look at.
Okay, Aether is the next counter. Ramesh from Kerala wants to know whether he can invest at the current levels from a longer term perspective. Your view, Neerav?
Yes.
Okay, Websol Solar System, price of 656, 100 quantity, 2-year target is being sought. Anything on the charts, Vaishali?
Looking positive, hold with a support of 1350, look for a target of 1800.
Okay, Triveni Engineering is the next counter. Jennifer from Mumbai has purchased 350 odd shares. Wants to know whether she should continue to hold or not. Vaishali, on the charts?
Continue holding, stop loss 400, target 520.
Okay, we've got Apollo Micro, bought at levels of 108. Neha wants to know, 1 to 3 month view, making a 20% profit. Should you take money off the table, Vaishali?
Continue holding with a trailing stop loss and look for a target of 155, 160.
Okay, Escorts Kubota is the next counter. Rajmohan wants to know whether he should hold or book profits. Vaishali, on the charts?
Well, book profit for near term.
All right. On that note, thank you so much to the both of you for taking the time. Pleasure speaking with you as always, and look forward to the next one. All right, and that brings us to the end of this edition of Ask Profit. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully we got your question answered. If we didn't, hopefully the questions that we did answer have helped you out. Do stay tuned. Up next is Know Your Company. This is NDTV Profit.
तू ही तो है जिसकी सच्चाई वाली क्लैरिटी की वजह से मैं आज यहाँ हूँ।
गोल्ड प्लस सिल्वॉक्सी मिरर्स, ऐसी क्लैरिटी कि आपको सिर्फ सच नजर आए, चाहे कितने भी साल बीत जाएं।
Do you really know the company you invest in? What is the real picture behind presentations and claims? Is the outlook as rosy as the company claims? Know your company, powered by NDTV Profit Research, shines a light